What's up, YouTube? I wanted to do another video talking about Bitcoin versus gold, and in particular, a very specific use case in what might favor cryptocurrency versus precious metals, because I do think that each serves a different purpose for different scenarios. Right now I'm on jambullion.com, and their website, they're one of the few dealers that I like to work with who accept Bitcoin for precious metals. And this is one of the cases where I think this Bullion dealer actually gets it. They don't try to fight the resistance. I know there's some people in the Silverbugs forum and in the YouTube space that don't really consider cryptocurrency as having a certain utility. But I'm here to point out some specific scenarios of SHTF, which I was supposed to do in the last video, but that one ended up getting a little long, so I wanted to break this one out and do it on its own. And just to be clear, I don't have any problems with gold or silver, and I do like my cryptocurrency, which many of you guys know. I think they serve different purposes, and more specifically, gold and silver is insurance against the stock market meltdown and also domestic economic meltdowns. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because there are a lot of different stackers and crypto folks who don't really understand that gold and Bitcoin really have a symbiotic relationship. And what I mean by that is that in specific cases, sometimes gold will work better, and other cases, crypto will work better. And as an example, in SHTF, there's a lot of different families on the West Coast right now who are facing fires and need to evacuate because everything is burning. And we've seen other YouTubers who've been faced with big fires and had their entire stacks just completely melted out. So a way to prevent that is to use cryptocurrency where you can transmit it over the air. And at the same time, what we're seeing even now is that there are different hurricanes going on in Florida, and after Harvey hit, even though that there are different types of catastrophic events, that it's hard to move physical precious metal when there's a fire or there's a water or flood. So what's the easiest way to carry things? Of course, USB drive, or just ship it online before everything hits so that you can go pick it up somewhere else. Because in a disaster, your priority should really be food, shelter, and water. If you're in a shelter, you shouldn't have to worry about your finances or your stack at home or in a bank or whatever. What you should be worried about is your safety and your family. Before I get deeper into this, I just wanted to say what I'm saying is not financial advice. These are just my opinions and specific things that I do to protect myself just in case there's an event, because I do live on the West Coast where there is the threat of earthquakes and fires, and the need to bug out quickly is one of those things where sometimes you just got to leave what you got to leave behind and just take what's important. But you don't want to be completely devastated when you need to run. So this is where diversification, if you need to leave some assets behind, like real estate and physical property, then the next best thing is to have some digital property waiting for you somewhere else. Another example of this is in Korea, with the whole issue with North Korea sending missiles and then looking at Japan. If you just type Japan, Korea, you'll see a missile and different types of threats going back and forth. I mean, seriously, these are things that shouldn't be taken lightly. I mean, you can just kind of pretend that nothing is happening, but in the other case, I think the people here are definitely getting prepared. And with that, I'm turning over to the coin market cap that shows where a lot of the funds for Bitcoin are moving from. And Bitfinex happens to be, I believe, a Hong Kong company. It might be from Singapore, but it might be registered in Singapore with servers in Hong Kong. But you can see that a lot of the transaction volume happens over in the other side of the world, and not necessarily in the US, which GDAX is Coinbase, Poloniex is somewhere in, I think, in the northeast, and Bitrex is in the northwest. So the top 3 US exchanges are 9, 10, and 11. Bithumb is a Korean Bitstamp is a European market based out of Luxembourg. Same Bitflyer, Japanese, Huboy, BTCC, and OKCoin CNY, which they have their own problems with Bitcoin right now because of the government, which is showing some arbitration opportunity for those different exchanges. Because of the ICO ban, there's some threat that Bitcoin might be banned over in China, so people are selling that off. But in the rest of the world, it seems that the price is fairly stable. So once things begin to fluctuate, I think this illustrates the difference between a localized economic type of collapse, where all of a sudden, when there's an issue locally for here is China, that it doesn't necessarily affect the rest of the market as much as it would if it was just entirely a single country collapse. So in the case of what's happening in China with the Bitcoin ban, in this case, having some gold or precious metals would definitely be more favorable than Bitcoin. And mainly this is more a legal issue, and in my opinion, I think it's just it'll blow over eventually. I do think China would like to lead the blockchain initiative, and in this case with Bitcoin, to begin to take leadership in a particular innovation, because the whole cryptocurrency market is being left behind by, or I should say, the US is not as strong a player in this particular market, and therefore it's an opportunity for another country to really step up. And you see that with China, Russia, and Japan all trying to vie for some cryptocurrency mining or starting it. So to conclude, I do think that they both offer different utility to people depending on their situation. And really, it's all about what tool fits the job, more so than ideological, I like PMs, no, I like crypto, and there's no in between. In fact, these days we need as many options as we can to make sure that we can control our wealth. And most people should agree that diversification and keeping things, not keeping all your eggs in a basket, should be the way to go. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did, leave a comment if you'd like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.